big reason why we wanted to have you on the show is there's been a little bit of a plot twist. You're not only coming back for your 6th year, but you're going to LSU.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, the whole process, kind of how everything unfolded and how you got to LSU.
Yeah, so at the end of the season, I obviously didn't compete, unfortunately, and, I was working really hard in the gym, and I was like, "You know what? Like, if I come back, I come back, and if not, we'll see kind of where my body's at and what the vibe is." And so right after season, I was like, "You know what? Like, my gymnastics career isn't over. I wanna compete again. I love gymnastics. I would do 30 years in the NCAA if I could and probably leave with, like, 25 more degrees." Um, but I was like, "You know what? Like, I love UF. I've been here for 5 years, and they've given me everything I could possibly dream of and more, but I feel like I'm done growing at UF, and I want to go somewhere else to experience new things, experience new people, and to just grow." And I feel like doing that in a new environment is gonna allow me to grow so much as a gymnast, as a person, and, to get a degree from a different school is gonna be really cool as well. And so at the beginning, my options were really open, but just kind of fell in love with LSU.
So you were waiting to see then, because you had a broken foot, and that happened right before the start of the season. Didn't it happen like the day before the first meet?
The day before, yep.
That is a horrible timing.
It was tragic. It was tragic. I
So
was like, why?
were you kind of like hoping that you would be able to come back and compete in postseason for Florida? Was that like what the initial like plan or hope was?
Yes, that was definitely what I was aiming for. But my foot was taking longer to heal than expected, and just had like a lot of roadblocks in the way. And I just wasn't where I needed to be and didn't feel like I was going to be able to contribute to the team gymnastically what they needed and also what I knew I was capable of. So that's when it was just kind of more realistic to keep being the sideline cheerleader.
Yeah. So now, when you decided for sure that you were going to take the 6th year, did you consider at all staying at Florida, or was it kind of like you knew from the get-go that you were going to be transferring if you did come back?
It was definitely still an option for sure, but there was a lot of things to consider. But I really like the idea of going somewhere new, especially after seeing someone like Rachel Bauman, who came in as a grad transfer on the team this past year, see how much that she was able to grow and flourish in a new environment. And I was like, I have such a unique opportunity because I was like so blessed and so grateful to be able to have this 5th year at Florida. But maybe this was my sign of breaking my foot that I needed to go somewhere else to learn something or to grow in some way. And so I was like, I want to use this year and use it as an opportunity to grow.
That's what's kind of cool though about the 5th years is that it gives you an opportunity to get your degree, finish out at the place that you originally committed, and then you can go somewhere else and you can get another degree from somewhere else. I think that's what's so cool about that. And a totally different experience. Yeah. Like normally people have to transfer like in the middle of their career. They don't actually get to finish out. Like in your case, you wouldn't get to finish out at Florida. You'd be transferring, mid-career, mid-time at Florida. And now like it's just different with COVID and everyone getting the option to come back. That's cool.
Yeah. It is such a unique opportunity, and just seeing like all the grad transfers, like obviously not just having Rachel, but seeing like everyone from different teams, people at Utah, people here and there. I was like, that's like really cool. And like it looks so cool to be able to embrace like a new person. And like I want to be able to experience that. So just really taking advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more now, but I love it. As a gymnastics fan, I think it's exciting.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So now, did you look at any other schools, or was LSU pretty much your number one pick?
I had a few other schools on my list, but as soon as I visited LSU, I was like, it's a done deal. Like, I love it here. I love the SEC. I already had pre-established relationships on the team, so I'm really close with a few of them. And so only having 1 year, that's I feel like going to be a little bit easier going in with those friendships kind of already established. And so as soon as I visited, I was like, there's nothing else is going to beat this. Nothing else is going to beat the SEC in my opinion, especially after already being here for 5 years. So the second day of my visit, I was like, I'm coming here. Like, I want to be a Tiger.
I feel like it's really hard to beat that training facility.
No, literally hard to beat so many things about it for sure.
Yeah.
It was my first time visiting. I had never visited LSU even before I committed to Florida. I had only visited like 3 schools in my like high school recruiting stages. So it
Okay.
was so cool, like just seeing all of LSU for the first time.
hmm So on the flip side, as soon as you entered the portal, did you have like all of these coaches that were interested? Did you start getting like a million calls the second everyone realized that you were in the portal?
My email was definitely very busy. So the way that the portal works is they don't put your phone number available for coaches. They only put your email in the system
Okay.
for coaches to see. And so my email was definitely getting flooded, and I was just kind of responding to the ones that I was like most interested in and giving them my phone number to schedule calls and whatnot. So yeah, it was a busy few weeks and a little overwhelming, but I was really just enjoying it because it's something that a lot of people kind of only get to experience one time in high school. And so I was like, I'm just going to take it in and enjoy this.
So LSU and Florida are really big rivals in the gymnastics world. Were you nervous at all about the reaction to your announcement? Not only that you were transferring, but that you were going to LSU of all places. 'Cause I don't think literally anybody expected that. So not even just like the Gator community, but like even just random people online. Were you nervous at all about what that reaction was going to be like?
Yes, 100%. I mean, I feel like no matter what decision you make in your life, there's always going to be backlash and there's always going to be negative reactions no matter what. Like I could go and donate $1 million to charity and someone's going to find something bad to say about it. And so I
That's
kind of
true.
expected that. And so it was like, you know what? Like no matter where I commit, there's going to be some type of backlash. But I knew, especially with the Gator Tiger rivalry, that there was going to probably be a little bit more backlash, but I was ready for it. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is my choice, my life, my decision, and I'm going to go somewhere that's going to benefit me the most and that I feel like I'm going to thrive the most in. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, the rivalry is there, but I'm always going to be a Gator fan at heart. Gainesville is always going to be my home. But I'm excited to see what this new opportunity has for me.
Well, a lot of like your teammates and stuff, they seem like they're really supportive. I was looking on like the posts you announced that you were going to LSU. It seemed like a lot of people were commenting nice things. And I saw the Florida Gymnastics account on Twitter like tweeting something at you. So it seems like everyone is being supportive as far as like the team goes.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like, as hard as it might be to see me in purple and gold this next year, all of Gator Nation and all of Gators Gym and all of my teammates and Gator family just want to see me happy. And so I think that's the most important thing for them. And so wherever I'm able to be happiest and be Sav, I think is where they're gonna like be okay with that.
Mm. Yeah. And so you are, I think you're going to get to compete in the O Dome one more time because I'm pretty sure LSU is going to Florida. So
Yep.
that'll be like a nice, I hope, at least full circle moment for you because last year you didn't get to compete, obviously, because you were injured. So this past season, I mean. So what is that going to be like? Did you feel like you're going to be nervous for that, excited, or are you not thinking about it yet?
Oh, I've been thinking about it nonstop. I think that was the first thing that I thought about when LSU became an option. I was like, if I go to LSU, like I'm gonna have to compete in the O Dome and not run out of the Gator head. Like that
Yeah.
is so weird to me. I feel like I feel all the emotions, like excited, nervous, happy, sad, like just everything. Like, but I am really excited that I'm gonna get to do it one more time. To do it in the O Dome, even if it is for another team. I mean, the O Dome is like just the energy is so unreal, and I feel like just the fans are so positive and they love Gators gymnastics so much, but they're so positive towards the other teams as well.
Yeah.
And I know I've gotten a lot of feedback saying, we'll always be a Gator fan, but we're always a Savannah fan too.
Mhm.
And so I feel like it'll be a positive experience, and I'm really looking forward to see how that will go.
That's the thing about the SEC. I feel like deep down, yeah, there's like the rivalries and like people getting competitive, but also I feel like deep down, people just love good gymnastics and they're going to
Oh
support
yeah.
you either way.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, even at nationals this past year when us and LSU made it, like we all got together and we're all like hugging each other and everyone was chanting SEC, and like it was just such a special moment because I mean, like people say the SEC it just means more, and I feel like that is just like it encompasses the SEC as a whole, and
Mhm.
so it's definitely going to be super special competing in the SEC another year.
Yeah. So people were really invested in your announcement. Like there was people, I'm sure you saw, but there was people online like following it. They're like tracking who you're following on social media, who's following you. They were tracking your flight. Like people were really, really into this. So
Yeah.
first question, were you aware of that? And then second question, what is that like as you're going through the process yourself, seeing kind of what everyone is doing online and how everyone is just like so into it?
Yes, I was aware of it. I think that the gymternet doesn't think that us gymnasts know as much as we do, but trust me, like most of us keep up and most of us like know what is being said about us, our team, our teammates. And so it's honestly pretty funny to like watch back or like sit back and watch all of that unfold. Some of it was like a little like, all right, you have a lot of time on your hands. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
maybe a
But
little bit too far.
yeah, I was like, okay, the flights, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are so invested. No, but I honestly, I just thought it was hilarious. I think it's so cool that gymnastics has like that supportive of a fan base where like everyone is just so invested in what the gymnasts and the NCAA are doing. Um, but yeah, no, I was definitely keeping up with it. I thought that all of the suspicions were great. I was loving seeing like where people thought I was gonna go and
Did you see the
um
people photoshopping you in like
yeah.
different schools? Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw it all, and, like, people were, like, screenshotting it and sending to me, like, my even, like, the coaches at UF, like, Owen, like, screenshotted one of them and sent it to me, they're like he was like, "Did you see this?" I'm like, "I saw that," like, I thought it
I
was real for a second, I got scared.
I fell for it. The
I did
Oklahoma one
too.
got me. I literally said to her, I'm like, Brittany, she's going to Oklahoma. And I'm like, at that point, I realized, I'm like, no, it was Photoshop, but they did a really good job. That was
A
believable.
little too good. I was, like, scrolling through Twitter, I'm like, "When did I visit OU?" I was so confused for a second, I, like, zoomed in, I'm like, "Someone is a little too good at Photoshop. This is
And
a little too real."
what's funny is that in the end, you were just outed by the video board at an LSU
I
baseball
know.
game.
No, literally, and it happened, like, 30 seconds after I was on the screen. Like
Really?
literally so fast. I was just, like, sitting there, and my girlfriend called me, and she was like, "Sav, go check Twitter right now," and I'm like, "Why? What happened?" And she's like, "Someone caught you on the video board at the LSU baseball game." I'm like, "I was literally just on the board not even 30 seconds ago." Like, the devil works fast, but the gymternet works faster. So,
That is
that's all
so
I have to say.
crazy. Do you feel like Kim Kardashian or something? I feel like that's at Kim Kardashian level, like fame and like people paying attention to
It
you.
was so strange. I was like, "Guys, I am not that important. Like, I'm really not that cool. Like, you guys have way more important things to worry about. Like, I'm just enjoying the baseball game.
Right. Like you're
Really
probably
not that
just
cool."
you're just like sitting there enjoying it, thinking that like no one is gonna know that you're there. And then literally like 30 seconds after, it's like everyone is on to you. Spotted.
Literally, I was, like, purposely not following any coaches, trying my best, like, not to follow, like, too many girls, cause like, I did wanna, like, keep it private to a certain extent, like, obviously, I posted, like, little teasers of, like, at the airport and whatnot, but, like, that was more for, like, just my entertainment, I guess,
Yeah.
just to kinda see what people were suspecting, but yeah, no, people it was bound to come out at some point or another.
I'm glad you said that because I was actually going to ask you that. Like, if knowing how the gym turnout is, I always wonder if gymnasts are like strategic, like whether they care or not, if they're following people or like, because you know that people are paying attention to that. And I think we all kind of noticed with you that like you weren't following any new people and it didn't really seem that like anyone else was following you. So like people were looking for these answers and they weren't necessarily getting them. And I kind of wondered if like it was strategic that you were purposely like trying to not do that so people didn't catch on.
Yeah, I was just, trying to keep that, like, private and also, like, respect out of, like, other schools and, like, coaches and teams, and so I was like, "I'm just gonna, like, keep this all to myself, whatever happens is between me and the coaches of that school, and whenever I commit, like, that's when I'll, follow all the girls and follow the teams and whatnot," so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So LSU is kind of like not kind of, they literally are the leader in NIL right now. So I wanted to know, I guess, first of all, how much that impacted your decision. Is that something that you care about? Because I know you do like some brand deals I've seen. So, and I guess, how do you feel like being at a school like LSU where there's so much importance on that will impact the potential opportunities that you can get?
I feel like being at LSU will definitely impact some of the opportunities potentially, um You know, I feel like in the recruiting process, NIL wasn't one of my, like, main factors of choosing a school. It was just kind of like a cherry on top if a school had a good, like, system and presence of NIL. So that's definitely like a bonus of going there. And I do love taking advantage of NIL. I want to work in social media and content creation. And so I do try to take advantage of those opportunities just to learn more about that space of content creation. I think it will definitely impact, like I said, me going there, but it wasn't a deciding factor of me going there. It was more about like the family, the environment, how I felt I was going to be valued on the team. Those are like the most important things to me.
And so now looking ahead to your final season, obviously we mentioned you had the broken foot that kept you out last season. I guess kind of where are you now with the healing process? I know we've seen a little bit of you on bars on like TikTok and stuff, but what's kind of like the timeline for your recovery and maybe even seeing you back on the other events?
Yeah, so I plan to train all around. I really want to break into the all around spot at some point or another. I talked a lot about that with the coaches at LSU, and it's not my expectation to go out and compete all around every single week. That's like not a realistic expectation for anybody or anybody's body at this stage of the game. But I definitely want to experience that at some point or another, and definitely be a consistent contributor on my main events, vault and bars. I got an X-ray on my foot like 2 or 3 weeks after season ended, and my foot is all healed now, and so I'm ready to start training whenever I choose to. I've not really been doing like gymnastics at the moment, more just like strength training and staying strong. And so I want to really like have that longevity throughout season, so I don't want to do too much too soon, especially as a grandma in gymnastics. So I'm just gonna really take it easy on my body.
So this might be too early for you to know necessarily, but a lot of fans really love your Jaeger on bars, and they were really disappointed to learn last season that you were planning to take it out.
Yeah.
Is there any plans to put it back in, or do you not know
Yes.
yet?
I am definitely gonna be training the Jaeger again for sure.
We
Yeah,
win.
I feel like my Jaeger is just way more consistent and just it's my favorite skill, and I don't think I could live with myself honestly if I didn't compete it again. Like
It's so
it is,
beautiful too.
I
Like the
love it. I love it. I'm like, you know what? Like I have this bonus here. Like and part of me kind of like regretted not doing the Jaeger routine this past year, but I was like, that was another like blessing in disguise of like, well, maybe this is my opportunity to like do a Jaeger again. So
So why
I'll
did you take it
definitely,
out last year? Was it like a injury thing or like was it just
it
what
was,
I guess what was the mindset behind that?
yeah, it was more to like preserve my body and my shoulders. I have like pretty bad shoulders. So just to minimize the amount of skills in my bar routine, it took out a cast handstand, and took out a blind change. And also to increase scoring potential since it would have taken out one of my handstands. But my goal is just to like really fine tune my cast handstands so that way that's not even like a worry, and to get and remain super strong this preseason so that way my shoulders won't even be an issue this season as well.
Mm-hmm. What about goals for this final season?
Um, Honestly, just to have no regrets. I just want to prioritize gymnastics in every way possible just because I know that this really is it. Um, and just give it all and take in every single moment, especially being on a new team. I feel like there's going to be so many new things that I'm going to get to experience. Um, and like I said, just leave the sport not having any what ifs and just giving it my all.
And then school wise, so you have your master's in sports management from Florida. Are you going to be getting another master's degree or like what's the plan for school?
Yes, that is the plan. I just applied to get a master's at LSU.
Okay. What would it be in?
Leadership and human resource development.
Okay. So now you mentioned wanting to do like some social media stuff. What's your kind of like career goal?
So I'd love to work with like ESPN, or when I move to Canada with my girlfriend after this upcoming season, they're like equivalents to ESPN as the sport network. So I'd love to work alongside with like a major sport brand or company like that, or even with like a professional sports team and doing their social media and content creation.
Okay, fun. Yeah, I loved watching this season. Even though you couldn't compete, you were still staying involved with like posting fun videos of your teammates and just doing all this creative stuff to kind of get eyes on gymnastics, which I think is really,
Right.
really awesome. So I think you'll be great at that.
Thank you so much. I know I was trying my best to like enjoy the moments, but also like highlight my teammates and their like amazing personalities and their amazing gymnastics. And I thought that was like a really cool way to embrace my role, because I was like, how can I like make the most of this and like still be super involved and like help out and cheer, but also like highlight the team, I guess. And so
Yeah.
I like tried to like encompass all of that by creating those videos throughout season, which was a lot of fun.
Okay, so to wrap up, we usually do like some really fun, super random questions. Like these are like super random. So the first one, I feel like every middle schooler had like a first day of school outfit that was really cringy now when we look back, but at the time you thought you were like slaying.
Oh yeah.
What would that outfit be for you?
Okay. Oh gosh, my like first day of school outfit when I was in middle school would probably be like skinny jeans with like those like booties with like the little like tassels on the side, and
Yeah,
like a kimono like see-through with like a white cami from like Justice. And then
yeah.
every other day of the week it was like a big t-shirt and like men's basketball shorts.
What's funny is that I feel like what you're describing, I also wore stuff like that. Like every
Yeah.
teenage girl dressed like that in middle school.
Oh, for sure. For
For
sure.
me in elementary school, the outfit that stands out to me is I had this like yellow Destiny's Child t-shirt and then black gacho pants. Do you remember gacho pants?
I don't think so.
I
If I
think
saw them, I probably would.
they're like flowy, stretchy material.
Oh, yes.
They're like knee length kind of. And they're so
Yes.
ugly, but
Yes.
I loved them when I was a kid. And I thought I was so hot every time I went to school wearing my
We all did.
gachos.
We all like showed up like popping off like the greatest thing.
And I feel like also skinny jeans. You said skinny jeans, and I'm like, same. I had hot pink skinny jeans,
I
and then
love
I
that
would
for
wear
you.
like I had like sparkly. This is like so tacky now, but like sparkly Converse and like a graphic
Yes.
tee that had like rainbow guitars on it. I'm like, what was I
Yeah.
thinking?
I had like a big like Justice peace sign and it was like sparkly, but I would wear it with like basketball shorts. I don't know what my like style was. Who knows?
My skinny jeans were always way too tight. I was like suffocating myself, but like I would do anything just to feel like I looked good at school,
Yeah.
to fit in.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. We all were there at one point or another.
We've all been there. Um, so if gymnasts could have a walk-up song before you go to compete, what would be your walk-up song?
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's really funny that you asked that because I wanted to do that at UF this past season for vault. I
Oh,
I like think that'd be so cool to like for the home team to have a walk-up song for the first event.
that
Anyway,
would be
that was like very off topic. But no, that's funny that you guys asked that. I feel like it would change every season, but right now it'd probably be like something by Lil Baby. That's like my go-to artist, and I feel like any song by him would be cool.
nice. I like that idea. Honestly, you should propose that at LSU. See if you guys can get walk-up
Yeah,
songs.
maybe I should. That's gonna stay in the back of my head.
You're onto something there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, but I've never had an experience with any.
Okay. So
Thankfully.
I kind of have a ghost story. This was like a couple years ago. I was like staying with my boyfriend up north at his grandparents' house, and like up north in Michigan, there's a lot of like old houses, kind of like creepy vibes. It's just the way that it is. And so we were staying in this bedroom, and there was like an attic with stairs that would like pull down. So like you could, in theory, like stay up there if you wanted, but nobody was up there. Okay. It was just like me and him in the bedroom. And we came in, like it was dark out at night. We were like getting ready for bed or whatever, and we heard like running, like almost like a child running though. Like it wasn't just like, I don't know, like something like a mouse or something like that. Like it was like a child, Heavy like enough to be a somebody person. running across, like we heard it up above us, like the length of the room. And I was like, get me out of here. So did you
The way
leave?
that I would have called the closest like Holiday Inn, I'd be like, I'm coming right now. Any room.
Yeah.
I'll sleep in the lobby. I don't care. Get me out of here.
I'll sleep in the car. Like literally get me
Yeah.
out of here.
Oh my God, that is terrifying. Was that
Yeah.
the only like experience that you heard, or did you
That
end up
was
hearing anything else?
that was the only experience that I had. His sister said that she could like see ghosts and like feel the energy of ghosts.
Oh
So
gosh.
like they had like all these stories from like when they were growing up, spending the weekend or whatever at their grandparents' house, where she would like see like their grandma who had passed and like just different people in the house. And like you said that there was a picture of her in the house that would always fall over, and every time they set it back up, it would fall over again. Yeah, it's super
Oh
creepy.
my gosh, I wouldn't know how to act. I'm like
I
a level
know.
like I love all things like thriller and like horror movies, but when it comes to like real life, I could not do it. No way.
Yeah. I don't even know how you fell asleep. If I heard people upstairs walking, I wouldn't even be able to fall asleep. I'd be so terrified. I didn't feel like I had a choice. So
I'd be in the corner of the room, lights on, TV blasting, like on the phone talking to whoever, like couldn't be me.
So this one's a gymnastics one. What is your favorite memory from your gymnastics career so far?
I feel like my favorite one was winning SECs my senior year, so 2022 season. Just because I got to do it with like the people that I love most, and we had worked so hard the past 3 years to win SECs, or the championship, I should say. And it was just such a special moment to like finally do that, surrounded by such amazing people.
Yeah. And then last one, do you have any fun summer plans?
I am going to Canada for 3 weeks in June to visit my girlfriend. So that's about it. And then I'll probably head down to LSU right after that.
And where does she live in Canada?
She lives in Nova Scotia,
Okay.
which is like
Canada,
northeast of New York.
okay. Canada is so pretty. I want to go to Canada
So
more.
beautiful. Oh, I like definitely recommend it. I'd never been until last summer when I went and visited her, and it is like so stunning, and just the people are so nice up there.
Yeah. We've been to Niagara Falls, and
Yeah.
then we went somewhere else, Toronto or something when we were younger, but so we live in Michigan, so like we can actually drive into Canada, but I
Okay.
want to go like deep into Canada, like the nice,
Yeah.
like scenic, beautiful parts.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. You should definitely go to like Alberta or like Nova Scotia. Like I think Alberta's on the West Coast, but if I like remember correctly, I'm so bad with Canadian geography. My girlfriend would kill me if I said that out loud. But yeah, it's like the smaller towns and smaller provinces that are like so beautiful with like the most beautiful scenery.
Yeah. So how long are you going to be in Canada, and then when do you come back and go to LSU?
I am going the second week of June and coming back the last day of June. And then I'll probably head back down to Gainesville and start packing up all my things and make my way down to Baton Rouge.
Okay. So that was my next question. Are you like right now currently still in Gainesville?
Yes, I am. I'll be here for most of the summer. Besides
Okay.
Canada, obviously.
So just slowly packing up and all of that. Have you been able to sell a lot of your Squishmallows?
Some of them I'm actually probably gonna be posting more this week. My girlfriend packed up and she's back in Canada already. So her room is like completely empty and her entire bed is filled with Squishmallows. And I'm like, I have to sell these because they're simply not gonna fit. Like I have so much stuff.
You know what would be cool? And I don't know if this is even possible, but people would totally eat it up if you could like sign them and then sell them to people.
Yeah, I've actually
You
done
can make
that
some money too.
before.
Like
Yeah, when I've like posted them before, I've gotten responses and people are like, "Can you sign it too?" Like just right on the front of the Squishmallow. I'm like, "Sure." And like I don't even care about like extra money. Like if that's how they want it, I'm like, yeah, like it's really not like that big of a deal. Like I don't understand. Like I'm not that cool. So I'm like,
you
I
are
can
though.
definitely do that. Like
See, I have
Yeah.
no desire to have a Squishmallow, but I'm not even joking. If you signed it, I would buy it.
Oh my gosh, I would definitely do that for you. Oh my gosh, for sure.
So if our listeners are interested, where can they check out your Squishmallow collection? Do you have like a link to something?
So I guess what I'll do is maybe I'll go and post them today. I'll go post all the ones that I'm selling, and then I'll make like a highlight reel on my Instagram of the ones that don't sell.
Okay, perfect.
And if anyone wants them signed, I am more than happy to do that.
Let's sell them up, people.
Yeah, come on,
check
let's
it
sell
out.
the Squishmallows, please. The U-Haul's not going to fit them.
Yeah, we got to get rid of them.
Seriously, everything has to go.
How far of a drive is it from Gainesville to Baton Rouge?
Let me look it up. I
feel like
don't
it
know.
can't be that far.
I feel like it can't be that far either.
When you guys faced LSU in the past, did you fly or did you drive?
We flew. It's an 8-hour drive.
Okay. So it's kind of long, but also not like the worst thing.
Yeah, not miserable. 2 people can make it like a 4-hour trip each, so.